This is my diagram that I made of the cellular respiration process from the start of glycolysis all the way to the end of oxidative phosphorylation. Um, the process starts with one glucose molecule which uses up 2 ATP into making a 2-phosphate compound which splits up into 2 different G3P molecules which turn into pyruvate by each releasing 2 ATP and creating an NADH out of each of them. Then the pyruvate releases a carbon dioxide molecule and adds a coenzyme molecule and changes an NAD into an NADH, creating acetyl coenzyme, which then goes into the mitochondria, into the matrix, into citrate, which then citrate releases a carbon dioxide molecule and transforms an NAD into an NADH molecule, creating a 5-carbon compound, which then releases another carbon dioxide molecule and converts another NAD into another NADH, creating a 4-carbon compound, which then converts an ADP and a phosphate group into an ATP. Then it converts an FAD into an FADH2, and finally an NAD into another NADH, which then it loops back around, and the acetyl coenzyme adds the 2 carbons onto the 4-carbon compound, which creates a 6-carbon compound. Then the NADHs and the FADH2s travel to the inner membrane, where they drop off their hydrogens, which also contain electrons, into the electron transport chain. This electron transport chain transports the hydrogens and the electrons, which creates energy, allowing H+ ions to move up into the inner membrane space, creating a proton gradient in the inner membrane space. Then the electrons and the hydrogens move through the electron transport chain, where they're accepted by the final electron acceptor, which is oxygen, and the hydrogen and the oxygen molecules bond to create water. Then the H+ ions in the electron transport chain move through ATP synthase, which is an enzyme, and that drives the reaction to create ADP and phosphate and make ATP out of that. Thank you. That was my analysis on the diagram I made explaining cellular respiration.